Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, guys. Hello, Melodies. Welcome to an AltoMNC stream. Hello. Oh my god. Hi, Confetti. I was totally not just in a VC with you. Confetti, I can't figure out how to turn off chat, so I'm just gonna hope and pray that nobody says anything. It's fine. Because the setting doesn't work. I think it's just because it's a public server, so it doesn't work like that, but I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Hey guys, welcome on in. Let me just set up my Twitter post that I'm live. We got some lore stuff. Oh my god. Come check me out live. Boom. How are we, everybody? Are we good? Are we good? Oh my god, Silly! Hey! What's up? I hope you're doing well. Hey guys. Hello everyone. How are you guys? I'm just setting things up real quick. And we should be good. And I'll talk about what we're doing this stream. Hashtag Twitch. Streamer. Small streamer. Streaming. Oh my god, hi! Oh god. I accidentally had you too loud. Hi! Starts echoing for everybody. That'd be so tragic. No, it's okay. Dang. Streaming. Minecraft SMP. Lore. Boom. I'm so great at this, guys. Hello, everyone. Oh my god, my favorite streamer is live. Oh my god. Is that Ollie? Oh my god. I think it might be Ollie. Not too sure, though. Could be this random Ollie is silly character. Whoever that is. Totally not the same people, by the way. Ollie, I couldn't figure out how to turn off my chat, so... We're just gonna pretend it's off. Because it doesn't work. Look, guys, look. Wait. Wrong button. How do I even go? Oh, wait, there we go. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, no, I got kicked out. That means I'm not gonna have creative anymore. Fuck. I hate being a Bedrock player. Shit, guys. Shit. Awesome. It's fine. It's scuffed, but it's fine. I hope you're doing well, by the way, both of you. I'm glad. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, it doesn't want me to get back into Brainrotters. What the fuck? So my idea for stream today is going to be, 1, making a lore build, which I'll explain soon, chatters, don't worry. And then 2, I was thinking it'd be really funny to read old Alto lore stories that I made, because they're cringe and that's funny. They're like a mix of cringe and cool. They're a bit silly. So we're gonna do that today, chatters. I have an ad. We love ads, by the way. Totally. I'm just getting the punishment like the chatters get every hour. My god, I had spicy chips today, and I'm still like tasting the aftertaste of them. They were a little too spicy. Okay, there we go. So, basically, chatters, there was this lore event, and well, actually, I forgot. I haven't told the chatters anything of the lore in this server. Oh god, I forgot it does that. My god, hi Luna. Welcome on in. So the lore of this server that I'm in the basics, oh my god, you're first, look at you go, is a bunch of characters came into the world and kind of from different universes, places, whatever, and a lot of them lost their memory, and there's a corruption going on, basically. And this is another server I'm in. This is not to be mixed with Strato or I forget whatever servers I've been on stream. But bunch of corruption going on. And my character, which I brought back, my little OC, that's on my profile picture, is Alto. Crazy guys. Thank you. So, and I brought him back, and he's a little ender guy, and he has a lot of trauma, but he doesn't remember any of it, so it's fine. And so, basically, once they got all here, they were like, well, we don't remember anything, so let's just bunker in this cave. So we bunkered in this cave. It didn't always look like this, by the way. The black stuff is the corruption. And it also makes me blind, and it'll hurt me if I'm in survival, but I'm not in survival because I'm making a build. Or pretend this isn't happening. It's Alto lore / server lore. It's like technically because of the server lore stuff, but mostly based off of Alto's past. Alto and kind of Cloudish. So, because it has to deal with the end. But we have a bunch of people, as you can see, all these names of the characters in the server. We're gonna ignore how I keep getting blinded. I keep accidentally stepping on it. This is Alto and Cloud's area. I totally decorated so much, guys. Yep. Totally. But I'm gonna work on a little build because my character lives in the end. I'm going to make a little end corruption around this area with a little prison thing from his lore, which I will be describing by reading out his lore for you guys today. By attempting to go through old Twitter posts. So we're gonna hope that I can find his lore, at least. We're gonna really hope. I am going to look through it by following my private ult so that I can scroll through myself instead, because it's so hard having multiple profiles. So let me just do that. By the way, you could do it anywhere. Okay, thank you. I will keep that in mind. Let me just follow myself, as one does. Give me like 1 second, chatters. But I thought it would be really interesting to be like right behind Alto and Cloud's like bedroom, because the corruption's supposed to spread near them, and it's just been brewing in there. Because, yeah. Can't stay too long, by the way. That's alright. No worries. It's all good. If you ever want to look back at what lore you missed, you could always watch the VOD if you'd like. Let's see. How's your build going, Confetti? That's good. That's good. Oh, I see. Mhm. Mhm. Oh, I see. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Oh, I see. I don't know why it's not working trying to find my Twitter for some reason. It's being finicky. It's trying to tell me it doesn't exist, which is definitely very normal. It's like, it's fine, it's just not telling me that there's like a pending request, which is weird. Yeah, because it says that there is on my account, but then it, like my public account, but then like my private account's going, no, this isn't doing that. Nuh-uh. That is true. It would just be harder to be able to see my Twitch stuff. Oh wait, there it goes. It's popping up. It just took a moment. I was just being impatient, guys. There we go. I gotta go. Bye. No worries. Bye, Luda. It was so nice having you here. You're all good. Alright. Here we go. I'm popping it up. I will not be able to see. No, I can't see that stuff because Xbox call. Sadly, you can't look at lives when you're on an Xbox call. Oh, I can see screenshots, yeah. Let's see. Profile. Give me like a moment, chatters. Okay. On my way. Whoa, that's so cool. What? I love that. That's a big ravine. It's just like a full-on chunk type thing. Interesting. Alright, time to do some scrolling. Gonna try to find the first ever Alto writing. I think I did all my writing on this one. Pretty sure. You chatters won't be able to see it, but I'm gonna be reading it. So it's okay. Plus, I could make fun of my old writing, and that'll be funny. I am at May 12th, 2023 so far. As far as it goes. Yeah. Oh, wait, there we go. It might have been. It's okay, so am I. I'm really bad at that. Oh, there we go. More's loading. Oh, that's crazy. That's fair. Time goes by weirdly, to be fair. I wish there was an easier way to just look at my first posts on this. But Twitter's not how that works. That's true, that's true. What did I always put at the beginning of posts? Let's see. There probably would be a lot from streaming. Unless you could look at a specific accounts. I don't know if you could do that. Oh, I see, okay. I've never done that. I don't use Twitter that much, I'm gonna be so real. AltoMNC. And we'll do that. That did not work. Okay. Oh wait, there we go, okay. Search settings. Never mind. We're figuring it out, guys. Don't worry. Oh my god, there's so many memories in here. Holy shit. Jesus. This was like our life for a good while. My whole life was just cozy SMP. All I could eat, think, and breathe was cozy SMP. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, I gained so many friends from Cozy, because before, the only person I hung out with was like cloud and like crickets, kind of. But that's kind of beginning of like the falling out with them. So, oh my god, hello. Would you rather have me be in stream or have me disappear? I mean, I always love having people in stream, so in stream. Well, that's up to you. Also, ads are about to start, by the way, chatters. Keep that in mind. For anyone who is just coming in, I'm scrolling through Twitter to find my old lore. Also, hello. That's so real. So the furthest apparently Twitter's gonna let me go is April 26th. Which I think is pretty far back, so we should be okay. It's Lou SMP days, so it should be pretty good. On Twitter. Alright. Time to make fun of my old writing. Let's see, guys. Oh, actually, ad break. Ad break first. Ad break. As ad break is happening, I can start thinking about the build a little bit. I kind of want it to be like... I'm not sure if I potentially might actually just like make a hole in a mountain and remake this. Just so I don't fuck this up. And just pretend in lore that that's actually the build, maybe. But then more realistically, you probably want to have it accurately together. So I should figure it out. I want it to be like secret crack goes in, finds this type thing. So I think that's what I'm going to try to figure out. Being sneaky, guys. I'm not great at making secrets, though. So we'll see.
Let's go! Look at the points I just racked up!
Could have like a small crack that they somehow didn't notice before. Potentially. Kind of would want it to be like something hard to get into. So like potentially something like this. Hello, and Garvey. Hello, welcome on in. My name's Alto. I am just looking through some old lore stuff and making a lore build for right now in my SMP. Welcome to my chat, though. My friends are chasing me, help. Oh no. Whoa. Alright, so looking through Twitter, I have a retweet, Lula SMP account. Can someone spam me when Bedrock works again? That's so real to me. Man, I can't wait to do more lore at some point. I have so many ideas about my character's backstory, but just in general, raw, constant brain rot. That's so real. Then we have a random quote from my character, which is also just saying, let's see what the quote is. So what? You go and kill everyone once they disobey you. Then what do? When everyone's gone? Sit on your ass or build some more silly towers? I can't even think of what the context of that is. But so true. I better put my DW skills to use for this then. Distract them. Start distracting them, guys. I can't think of what the context of that quote is. Alright, give it to you guys. Me just saying I have so many quotes. Oh, okay, I see where in lore this is. So, basically, so this is the little guy. This is the character. Originally, though, it was just a guy with like black and white hair, like half black, half white hair, with just like a gray hoodie. But canonically, he looks like this, but he has another form that's like part Enderman, part dragon, or Ender Dragon, and then also part human. So the basics of my character is Alto is from the end, and he was from this like little village. I'm not gonna give too many spoilers because some I haven't actually given out, which I plan to do in lore, so I'm gonna keep this discreet. He was in this town though where it wasn't like accepted to be a hybrid, basically. In this town, it was it was just known as to be a terrible thing. Anything above the normal, and the people in the town started to riot against hybrids because it was just known, it wasn't too knowledged upon, so it was just like, instead they just hated on them. And eventually there was just like this group that either would try to attack or experiment on hybrids instead. And they were after them. And so, of course, Alto was living with his mother in this town. And he also had a friend of his in this town as well, who was around his age, a little bit older, and helped him a lot with fighting and stuff like that because they were really, really scared about this town figuring out that they're hybrid. So most of the time he would since can shapeshift with his different hybridness, he would usually mask the different features to make him look like he wasn't. In the human world, he'll usually make himself more look human, like this. Or there, he would make himself just look like an Enderman, specifically. So you can have many forms. Also, I'm glad you're not hurt, at least. But, so he had to, obviously, hide away with his mom and, pretend that it wasn't happening, because they were not, they didn't have enough money to just, escape from this place. Plus, it wasn't really easy to, because it looked really suspicious if you were. But eventually, it gets so tough that eventually they decide, fuck it, we gotta leave, because the people started to get suspicious on his family. And they also, eventually found out that his dad was, but his dad, pretended that he wasn't a part of the family, because, of course, they didn't really have all that information in the town. It was, kind of a people came in and out of type of town. And so, they took him away. But him and his mom were okay. So they went adventuring far out into the end. They dipped while his dad sacrificed himself and kind of decided to take the bait. And Alto doesn't know what happened to his dad after that. And so, which has not been revealed. And so, Alto and his mom, they dip. He has to leave his childhood friend who was helping him learn all these skills of fighting and stuff like that, and just keeping him safe. It was someone he loved so much. I don't think there's a canonical name for them, but I think that was to be decided more, since I'm working with somebody with that lore. And so they escape. They're running into the end. They have heard these rumors about a portal that'll let them escape the end, because a lot of the end is kind of like this. It has different hierarchies of like what's known as like good and what's known as like bad, but it was mostly around this town. And so they go traveling for like probably months to a yearish, just tent to tent, trying to find this portal, hoping that it actually exists, because it's just a rumor, which is just the end portal, basically. And so eventually they do find the portal, though, but guess who's waiting there for them? This group, the gang that was looking for them, because they figured out someone escaped. Also, thank you so much for the follow, Random Dimmer. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I'm just telling a story, so I'm trying to make sure I notice. But welcome on in. I'm just explaining my character's lore at the moment, before I get into the lore build. I'm just kind of yapping for a bit. But my name's Alto, and it's nice to meet you. So once they get to this portal, the gang that was waiting for them was at this portal, just like waiting there for them, because they heard news of people who were trying to escape. And Alto, I have the writing on this to tell more specifics, so I'll look back at that if I can find it. But Alto's mom ends up getting in the way. They go to drag the mom off to the prison, which is where they would keep them. But didn't have like enough men to just like take Alto as well, so they were gonna take them and then Alto. But Alto's mom screams at Alto to go into the portal, and so he scooches in. He already had gotten hurt by the guys because they like hurt both his mom and him. So he was already like majorly hurt, so he couldn't go after his mom if he wanted to, because he wouldn't survive. So he crawls into the portal, damaged, and falls in, goes into the human world. But when he goes in the human world, now keep in mind, in this server, you have 3 lives. So he passed away due to all the damage on his body from the attack, and the last thing he saw was just the sky, and it was the first time he had ever seen the sky other than rumors from his one childhood friend who had told him about it and had given him stuff from the human world before. And so it was the first time he ever saw that, but it was also his last time. In this world, you usually just kind of woke up in your spot once you died, as long as it wasn't your 3rd life. So he kind of woke up. He was damaged, but he was okay, obviously. You kind of got like the damages of where your attack was, but you wouldn't die again. Besides Shadow Milk, because you already have him out. But which beast cookie would you pick to have? I don't... I'll have to look up beast cookies. Probably, do you know like the partially red haired, but like black haired guy? I don't remember his name. I usually mostly know about Burning Spice Cookie. I'd probably get Burning Spice Cookie, since I've heard they're really tough. Anyways, so once he makes it there, though, he eventually stumbles upon a little village. And in this village, it was only like a select few people, and it wasn't even finalized as a village. It was kind of mostly just people who ended up finding the place and taking over. Eventually, they called it the Dandelion Village, because he went around and he would just like give people dandelions, and they really enjoyed that. So they called themselves the Dandelion Alliance, and they were just like this little group that took him in, and he finally felt like he had another family, because he had lost his family. And for a good bit, when he first got up, he waited at the portal for days, hoping his mom would come out eventually, like that she had made it, but she hadn't. So he eventually had to give up because he was hungry and he needed stuff and he needed to find a place. And he knew if he got his surroundings, maybe he'd be able to go back and find her. But eventually the portal closes and it collapses upon itself. the group had taken it down so that nobody could get out again. So it was just the leftover chunks of a portal. But mostly it was made for that because canon in the server, you weren't allowed to go to the end yet, so shh, we don't talk about it. And so he stumbles upon this village, and there's these group of people, some I can't name, but there was these group of people, and one was like a motherly figure to him, and he also found a new brotherly figure named Cloud, which was Cloud's character, and they all just kind of ganged up for a bit, but there was this other group, and one of the leaders of the Dandelion Alliance just seeked to fight with everybody for like no reason, and they kept picking fights with this one group called the Glass Pane Alliance, and kept fucking with them a lot, and it was just pissing them off, so it kind of started a war between them. But then, wars weren't allowed on the server, so we couldn't do those. So instead, we did a kidnapping of one of the Alliance's members' partners, I think. And we took them in. Nobody kind of agreed with it, other than... I know, Glass Pane Alliance I mentioned, oh my god. And we kind of just put them in the pit, but it was a fake kidnapping too, because in a video game, Twitch, but it was fake because the person wanted to be, because they were pretending to be on their side but were actually on our side, but they didn't tell everybody that. It was kind of weird, it was kind of complicated, and so we didn't actually do anything wrong. They asked for this to happen just to get on the other side's nerves. And so, but eventually that led to them starting to attack the Dandelion Village Alliance, because they actually thought we took this person. Eventually they asked the member to take one of the lives of the person that was taken over, so it was kind of complicated. They wanted it, but as a representation. I don't know. It was weird. And it was complicated lore. And so that pissed them off, and they started fighting the family, who just wanted, honestly, just to be there with each other than the leader, who was doing this against everyone else's will. That's when my character was a knight for one of the people, one of the characters in there named Princey, who was they were kind of a knight for, but that was also kind of their dad, and so was Cloud. It was weird. It was I'm gonna protect you, and then Princey was just kind of child, ha, but also I'll let you think what you want, but also I'm gonna protect you. So eventually Princey and Alto and Cloud were I don't like that this person is having us do all these terrible things. And they were let's rise up. Well, because one of the members who was originally the leader had passed away, and was, I think, on one part now, they agreed to make the corrupt person the leader before, because they didn't know they were corrupt. And so now this corrupt person was in leading. Wonderful. And they had an assistant named Lisa, and they were creepy as fuck. There were some creepy ass lines in there. I mean, it was some crazy bullshit. So then we all had to pretend to like it, because if not, we were gonna get you know? And so they we pretended to like them, but then we formed an alliance. It was so fun, because every time you would log onto the server, something new would happen. You would think that you're everything would be blown up to pieces if you weren't careful. So you had if you crossed over to the other person's area, even out of lore, you would start getting shot at with arrows and stuff, because they thought you were coming to attack them. That's how intense it was. But I loved it because it was just so good. No worries. Thank you for letting me know. Um, it was nice having you here. So they kind of had this whole thing going on. Uh, it was scary. And so I do have some writings on these as well, I think. I don't think I wrote too much for Lula SMP comparatively, but we're gonna pretend that I did. So, then double cross. The whole village hates the corrupt leader, so we decide to form a cornflower alliance. And we secretly go to every alliance and go, hey, I know you don't trust me, but this is what this person is planning to do to you, because this person was planning to take down all of the alliances and basically corrupt them all. And so we went and told everybody secretly. And we had like meetings and everybody was kind of hostile, but I appreciate it. Then we also went to this peaceful alliance and was like, I really need your help. And they were like, I'm gonna try to help you as much as we can. You're so real. A lot of my friends in here also were in the server, so that's how we met. We had this really good lore going on, but then boom, Lula SMP got canceled. Well, actually, just the moderators were doing a great job with it, and so we went to a different server called Cozy SMP, and we just kind of pretended that all the characters kind of got brought to a different world, and peace was brought about, basically. And we kind of formed our family lore again instead. And it was kind of peaceful for a while again. I made a sibling trio house because Q and Cloud were siblings and they cared about each other a lot. Then Princey lived across the area. Confetti was there, who was, their character was the uncle. We had the uncle lore going on. It was really peaceful for a good bit, around then. A little bit of lore pieces. Trying to remember what happens from there. I know, like, Alto's lore. Okay, so Alto's lore gets complicated here. Because Alto thinks his past is gone. He's okay. And Alto goes on a little adventure with his uncle, Confetti. And they're getting things, they're getting items and stuff like that because for a house. But then a horde of zombies come in, and take out Cloud and Confetti. But I think Confetti was the only one who died there. But secretly, one of the people who because Cloud was knocked out and Confetti was gone, there was a huntersman who also came in the background and was hunting down Alto. And he was originally from the village and found Alto and was ready to take him down because he was a hybrid. And that's part of his lore. So Alto didn't know it, but he kept getting threats in his house because they found his home with his siblings. And he kept telling his siblings, please stop staying here, it's not safe. He wasn't telling them why because he was scared of them getting involved. And eventually, the hunter did actually find him in his home. And, took his second life. With an axe. And I think the axe had lore, but I don't remember what the lore was with that. I think they left the axe for him to see after it. But he was still alive because, he had one more life. So he was okay. But he was really traumatized. He was actually so traumatized that he completely stopped talking to everybody. Completely. Just done. His And his dad was away on a trip, so he didn't actually have anybody to get comfort from that. Holy shit! Jump scare. Hi there. I got dark cacao and I can awaken him. Oh my god, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. So, I don't remember like specifically in order. I know I have writings which I'll find. This is me going an overview, then we're gonna get into the cringy, angsty writings. Uh, so that is when Cloud, which was like the sibling character, eventually got married. We're not gonna talk about to who, cause they're canceled. But to this character, we're just gonna say a phantom character. And it brought this whole like lore of like, oh my god, my sibling's getting married. Oh my god, this is awesome. And but still no burning spice soon. You'll get them. I believe in you. But we go to this wedding. In the after party. Well, so there's these gods in the server, and right, and it's each of the moderators had a god. Sunny had an ender god. Princey had a nether god, and Confetti had like an overworld god, I believe, right? I think so. And so this the nether god was kind of like a dick and liked to mess with people a lot, and eventually just kind of took over Princey. Oh my god, hi. We have another visitor. Oh my god, guys, confetti stream. Confetti takeover stream. No, I'm joking. But Princey, so this nether god took over Princey, the dad of like everybody basically. So many people. Mostly Alto and Cloud though. And what do you want on a wedding? A bomb! Throws a bomb down with a music disc and explodes Alto's mother. Wonderful! More trauma. And so Alto's completely crushed. Dad just got back, and so he's completely crushed. He's lost his mom. Eventually, one of his siblings also dies, but we don't talk about them either because they're also canceled. So it's okay. We just pretend it never happened. But eventually, Alto just kind of goes, "Hi." Hello. Alto just kind of goes crazy. And he eventually decides, I need to get done with this. I need to subside from my past. He decides to speak again because he ends up speaking with his dad about some stuff. Kind of had a breakdown. Decided, oh my god, I didn't get to talk to these people who ended up like losing their lives in a video game Twitch. I mean, he's just really upset. He blames himself because he wasn't able to talk to them again because he wasn't talking at the time. So he decides, you know what? I'm gonna go to the end. His lore was supposed to be that he went to the end with his sibling, but they're canceled and we never did that lore. So, what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to go to the end, and he was gonna find the prison where his mother was gonna be. The hunter was gonna. Ollie's with the background. We got the whole gang listening. We're lowering, guys. Oh my god. And the hunter was supposed to. Hunter and his gang. It was the whole gang that was against hybrids. Was supposed to corner Alto in this prison, but then Alto goes batshit crazy and wipes them all out and everybody else in the village because his mother's gone, and he finally has gotten conclusion, and the hunter kind of told him about that. And a little sad. Stan C. August, that's so real. That death killed me internally. It was very sad, very sad. We are going to need C. August voice lines for the remake if you wanna. If you want a voice act. By the way, for all my friends here, we're going to have a voice act re-edition of this lore, by the way, eventually, so hell yeah. Anyways, and we're also going to be remaking new OCs for all the canceled people to fill their spots that has different lore that people can create their own lore too. Woo. Anyways, I am having something update real quick. You're slaying. And so then, I think that's where Cozy ended. Pretty sure that's where Cozy ended. Also, Cloud was kind of going insane too, so we don't talk about that. And we also had secret lore planned, but I can't tell you guys because I'm going to be doing that in Brainrotters, Blinks My Eyes. That, or I'm going to potentially be doing it in the reenactment. And then figuring out how Alto is technically their lore. We'll figure it out. I gotta work on it with Cloud, because Cloud is the main part of that. Yeah. Okay. Now that we've gotten a overview of the lore, let me find my writings so I can read these to you guys. These are other quotes. We have another quote from Co-Alto. Direct quote, by the way. This is what you wanted all... This is from Lou SMP. This is what you wanted all along. You wanted them to die in the first place, so you could have all the power. I think that was at the corrupt leader. Pretty sure. Seeing a lot of canceled people's posts. There was a wedding. Wonderful. Then someone, we didn't state, are you okay after everything that happened? And then also just goes ... Apparently he's not okay, guys. It's a little angsty, guys. As all my writings are, to be fair. We have another Alto quote. I remember it very well. It feels like it basically repeats in my head over and over again every day. Don't remember what that's to. Oh, it was to the one sibling that ended up oofing. Let's see. We're not getting into any writings yet. We'll see. I did do writings, I promise, guys. I just didn't do many for Lou SMP. We have another quote. Remember... Oh, wait. This is just a lyric. Never mind. That's cringy. We don't talk about that. Hello?
Austin, where's your green bag at?
I don't know, Mom.
We have a silly skin. Oh, they're battling. Stop battling. Don't battle. It's gonna be okay. My friends are just battling in the background, as what they do. As one commonly does.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, Lou SMP actually ended up trending, guys, by the way. Back when it was, all this stuff was public, so that was kind of really cool. Another quote of, our past will always haunt us no matter how hard we try to make it up to people. Oh, combat logging. Combat log, guys. A bunch of photos. Stuff about the trending. Lyrics.
Wait, why do I think I know where it is?
Quote retreats. Me just saying on Twitter, gets on Lou SMP hotly. So true. fan art. Yes, there was fan art of this stuff too. Oh my god, Baldorado, yo! I'm just yapping about lore. Hello, welcome on in. Talking about giving teasers. When do I finally write, guys? Oh my god, the first writing. Guys, I don't know what this one's about, so just keep that in mind. Also, oh god. I'm getting flashbacks, guys. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. No, guys, no, no. It's the August. No. The memories. Anyways, we have the first lore writing, which I think is about Alto's past. So the first writing is, my brave little knight. Guys, warning, this is going to be so cringy. Oh god. Okay, we'll start. Hey mama, a pair of tired yet so innocent eyes stared up at his mother as they were cuddling in a small tent they set up before it was time to sleep. The kids' mothers... I love how all my friends are just getting story time. They're like being read to as like kids going to sleep. This is awesome. Stared up at his mother as they were cuddling in a small tent they set up before it was time to sleep. The kid's mother ruffled his hair gently before replying. What's up, Buttercup? She asked in the loving voice. By the way, the kid is Alto. Just Alto as a kid. In the loving voice she always used when talking with him. There was never a time in the kid's mind that he ever doubted that his mother loved him. She never gave room for that doubt to come up. It was just him and her, and that's all that he needed. And his older brother, of course. But they didn't live in the same home to always be around each other. What's going to happen to us if they find us again? Or you get too sick to run away anymore, Mama? For context, his mother was ill. Oh, there's people on my walls. I see August. The kid asked, small tears brimming in the corner of their eyes as they held notes mother close. Keep in mind, my character uses neopronouns, so if you hear like notes or it's, that's why. Scared if he let go, she might disappear in any moment. His mom held the boy closing, letting out a small hum of consideration before speaking. Well, sunshine, I can't promise what will happen, but all I know is whatever happens will be okay, alright, darling? We'll always get through this together, and we will continue to. She said before bringing his head close and putting a soft kiss to his head, trying to show no sign of how scared she truly was, as the kid did not deserve the fear. And if it does happen, I always have my strong little knight to protect me, right? This is the beginning of when he got called a knight, and why he always thinks he had to be a knight. She added before booping the kid on the nose. With a small, playful wink, the 5-year-old boy immediately went into a fit of giggles. Uh-huh, I'll protect you no matter what, Mama. Nobody can get in the way of me and my Mama, Z said with a big smile before curling back into his mother and closing his eyes. Good night, Mama, he said with a small yawn. Good night, duckling. Rest well, my knight. We have a long day ahead of us, she replied before rubbing up and down his back to try and soothe him to sleep. He wouldn't admit that night that Z could feel the little droplets coming from his mother's eyes onto their head. He wouldn't admit to Note's mom how scared Z truly was, and when it was said present. Sometimes now Alto wishes he could hold his mom like that again and protect her better this time, but now all he has is the memories left of her. And then it was just me saying that it was a mess of a writing. Wow, guys. That was my first ever writing of Alto. Let's go. My pretty enter Prince August, he is everything, but at the same time I wish for the worst for him. That's so real. You gave him quite angst, didn't you? Didn't you? ... I love my friend's response to these because one is just start sobbing and punching the ground. So true. That's so real. That's so real. So that was the first writing, guys. Not the best, but we'll decide that it is. Then I just post about to force everyone in hashtag #LouSMP to be my character sibling /J. I have some mean ants. My bad. Oh. Let me just throw you your stuff real quick. This is what happens. This is what happens when my friends get a little quirky, guys. Oh no. Okay, we have another writing, guys. Oh my god. The writing is called, let's see, Home. It's called Home. This is still during #LouSMP days, guys. Oh my god. I actually did #LouSMP writings. Oh god. Okay. Home, a word that was thrown around quite a lot throughout Alto's life. A word Alto had only felt once for a short period in his past. Never to remember the feeling again, or at least until now. After many years on the run and in constant fights, the boy was finally starting to feel like Z was at home. Not because of the little shack they lived in, or the room Note had in his mother's house. It was the people he had been spending time with lately, especially an Enderman, a loving father, and a specific misunderstood sheep. Lately Alto had a lot of doubts with how he stood with his family, and the fear of losing them. I have your shovel. I'm sorry. There you go. Lately, Alto had a lot of doubts with how he stood with his family, and the fear of losing them. Not really because of anyone in particular, more because of the things he had heard around him. With the threats of his beginning family, Alto had already begun to lose hope. Ever since their village was seen as enemy territory, a battlefield, one may say. Deep down, every spiraling second Alto had to set himself up for failure, knowing deep down he couldn't save them all. That was confirmed true with Lee's death. It repeats in Alto's mind daily, maybe even hourly, who next would die that Alto would not be able to save. When else that was by the way, just sibling who crashed and died. Yeah. When else will Alto cowardly run leading to another life being lost that No cared oh so deeply for? It haunted him so badly he could barely even look their other siblings in the eyes, feeling the growth of shame in the pits of his stomach. Things lit up through the boy's hopes whenever Z was around. The other part of his family, Princey, his father somehow took Alto in at any chance possible and showed love for the boy tenfold. The man left no room for doubts in the kid's mind, just love and care. Z would be lying if they did not admit the boy almost broke down into tears at any slight affectionate thing shown towards him. To many surprise, though, there was a certain person recently that had made a significant impact in Alto's life. All it had taken was one simple meeting with a person that many saw as an enemy, just like many probably still saw Alto, with the rumors that were spread quickly around the town. A certain sheep that had been going through much more than Alto knew before the meeting. A man who needed people who care about him oh so much, and Alto immediately felt attached. I would do anything to help you, even if it takes my life. He continues to word them things like, no, you shouldn't have to, or I'm not a great person, continuing to tell the not-so-great things he had done in the past, but Alto knew deep down there was a caring man in front. Oh, vacuum. 1 moment. There we go. I can speak. Spinning segment over. Oh my god, I love Ollie in the little hole spinning. That's so funny. Okay, anyways, where did I leave off? Oh, wait. Continuing to tell the not so great things he had done in the past, but also knew deep down there was a caring man in front of him and had to do anything in his power to not just go up and hold the other. Over the few days, Alto, Q, and Cloud had grown closer, acting as the stereotype of siblings. So they messed about while hanging out with their father and uncles. Oh my god. One of them is spinning. Oh my god, you're ballerinas. Alto looked up to both Note's siblings, not really based on what they do, but more in a I absolutely adore you way. And he vowed with his life that he would keep them safe. This did not stop the scares, though, with rumors running around about why Q had joined the family on an opposite side, and lawsuit after lawsuit on his older brother, the Enderman who was... I forgot there was lawsuits. The Enderman who was now attached to his new sibling was now fearing of losing the other. Didn't help that when they first met, Alto basically had to plead the man to keep... I'm not going to say that because Twitch. It was all really fearsome for the kid, even if No didn't show it that much. Alto seemed to snap out of his thoughts. When Q's voice filled into his ears, he looked up at the sheep to hear a simple sentence that changed his thoughts completely. You know, my worst fear is you guys thinking I will eventually betray you. I would do anything for you guys, anything but that. Alto smiled at this, but looked away, so it was not as noticeable. He wasn't sure why it hit Note so hard, but it did. Home. He was home. Alto looked at the rest of his family who was standing around him. Princey, Q, Cloud, Confetti, Apollo, and their mother, and other siblings that were not currently there. They were all his home. He was finally home after all these years. Alto wiped off a small tear that was falling down the boy's face, only noticing as it began to burn their skin before looking up at Q. I know, I trust you with my life, and I will protect you with my life as well. He said with a smile, but it was the most serious thing the boy probably had ever said. The scary was worth it. Anything was worth keeping Notes home. He would do anything to keep it. And that's the second one, guys. Oh my god. And then the replies to this is just, I'm crying, stop. I still remember the time that we were trying to do lore with Q and I kept falling asleep. That's so funny. Love that. You know what? It'd be like that in Cozy, let's be honest, guys. Or Lou SMP as well. Just both. That was honestly the core. And then I was just talking about writing. There's some stuff from my friends. There's a funny quote of just, oh no, father's head hurts. Just eat hurt. So true. Where are you? I put ketchup on it while talking about a boat. That's so true. There was a Q&A, but I don't think we got any questions. Talking about more writing. More writing stuff, but not actual writing. Memes. So real. Oh, more memes. More talk about writing, but not doing it. So true. Lyrics, cringe. Runs. I say that, but I still do that about my character, so shh, it's okay. Okay, where's the beginning of this writing? Let's see. We have the next writing. I just have to figure out where it is. Okay, this next writing is called A House Is Not a Home, which was based off a song lyric because I'm real like that. And let's see. I don't remember what this one's about, so we'll see. I think it's more end drama, guys. So alone, an empty home, the child slowly was building from the ground up with the need for a roof over his head. Oh, I think this was the beginning of Cozy SMP, when I was building the sibling house. Oh my god. Roof over his head. The only thing that was finished in the house so far was a cold basement with the grass. Oh my god, it was. The grass floor under him. Still, it was a home after all, right? There was a roof, a bed, and a creeping silence that gave so much room for thoughts to creep in. All Alto could do was keep themselves busy to keep from going crazy. Their father was gone, and their siblings were surely busy with better things than his issues. He continued on the house, day after night, restless, because any moment they tried to sleep, the thoughts crumbled in on him, either from memories from another world or memories from their past. Even before their father left, they had isolated themselves most of the time, trying to let everyone have time to get settled in. Who was he to be a bother? Days of building, and finally there was an upstairs to the house. It still wasn't finished, but there were rooms. They were highly empty ones, but it would be considered a home in some people's eyes. There was even a room for his brother if the sheep wanted a place to stay. Sounded a lot less lonely after all. They were highly empty ones, but it would be considered a home in some people's eyes. Alta practically collapsed in the room, exhausted from days of work, as they curled up surrounding themselves in note blankets and falling fast asleep. Back, I may have to randomly leave since I'm in classes. Don't worry, it's all good. Thank you for letting me know, though. You're good. You're good. Okay. And then this is, I believe, a memory / dream. So, we're gonna get into that. So, Alta was on the ground, blood seeping from the young child's stomach and down his chin, almost lifeless. So this is about the first canon Minecraft death. Twitch. The only thing they could do was lay on the cold end stone and watch as the mean people who had been chasing Zim and their mother for years took his mother away. No one could hear her screams as the men pulled her away. She screamed for Alto, begging them to run, to go into the portal next to Zim. They had been that close to freedom with his mom, but they had found them right when they had got to the portal. Tears fell down the half-dead boy's cheek, but they could barely feel the burn. They could barely feel anything but the pain. "Mama, help," the boy whined, but knew she was long gone. Z moved Note's shaky, weak hands, using any bit of strength they had left to drag their body. He knew he could not go and save his mom in the condition they were in now, but they could at least not let his mother's sacrifice go in vain. The young boy pushed themselves up to the portal shards with the last amount of energy they had before falling through the portal. Everything was purple and shiny. Once he had fully made it into the overworld, they were on the grass floor, still bleeding out, and yet he still smiled as they saw the blue sky for the first time ever. That was the day that marked a new man. A man that had lost their first life that night. A man that had lost his mother. And a man that was finally free. They never forgot their mom, though, and hoped that she made it out somehow and he was able to see her again. And then it's back in present time. Alta woke up in gasps and tears, practically choking on their own saliva. "Mama," they cried, out holding their feet close to his chest as they sobbed hard in his new home. He needed someone they couldn't stand to be alone, not after all these memories floating through their head. I just see August again, just peeking out, and it's really funny. Too silly. They got up tiredly out of their bed and just walked, longing for anyone, and they knew the one person that would understand and seemed to be lonely himself, a certain sheep brother, who happened to have a room next to the dragon hybrids. But when they walked into the other's room after minutes of knocking, they noticed the sheep was no longer there. The only thing left in there being a little goodnight sign Alto had left the man before heading to bed every night. What time was it anyways? Like 3 or 4 a.m.? An odd time for their brothers to be roaming the town, especially alone. Word group the boys had as they quickly put on a jacket and walked around the island calling out for his brother. They had run out so fast and had not even considered getting out of his pajamas or clearing the snot and tears off his face. They were too worried to wait. There was only one person Alto knew who might be up this late, their Uncle Augie, who was staying at Princey's house sometime, stayed up late at night. Oh my god. It's that guy. Holy shit, guys. Cannon? No. The guy! Oh my god. Sometimes stayed up late at night working on their underground base not too far away from Alta's home. They ran over to the house and into the top house bit. When heading downstairs to the cave area in Princey's house, though, Alto couldn't help but hear crying. A familiar crying Alto had only heard a few times. Alto carefully walked down the steps into his father's base, not wanting to scare the other who was in there. When they were fully in the cave area, they saw just the sheep they had been looking for in their father's bed sobbing just as hard as Alto earlier. Which, for context, the reason why they were sad was because Princey was gone, and I think they were just, missing home, I think. A frown came to the boy's face as he walked carefully over to his brother. Hugh, I'm here for you. You're not alone. Would you like to talk about it, brother? The boy spoke softly, trying to make it clear that their presence was not a threat, as they carefully got into the bed next to their brother hesitantly. He took his arms and wrapped them around the sheep, careful enough that Hugh could push him away if he was uncomfortable, but tight enough to bring comfort like his mother used to do for him as a kid when they were upset. The response to this one was just, why would you hurt me? So true. So real, so real. That was that story. Wow, guys. Some characters started showing up. Whoa, guys. Let's see. So after that, Hole has been upgraded. Holy shit. So true. You guys are eating it up, honestly. Then there's just me being silly. Me saying I was gonna fall asleep. Quite literally eating it up. Spider eyes. What? Oh, ad break. Ad break. Wanna join the hole, Alto? Sure. How do I get in the hole? It's not working. I can't hear you right now if you've been talking. Do you want me to rejoin? I'll rejoin. Hello? Oh, I can hear you now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I haven't heard you this whole time. I thought you were just quietly listening. No! What have I missed? Give me a down low. Oh, I thought you were just enjoying story time or something. Ah, I missed everything. My god, the hole sits in the hole. Ollie, welcome to story time. I feel like one of those parents that's reading bedtime stories, but instead they're just depressing. You're so right. So true. I hate with that. Okay, well now I can hear you, so let's go. Hell yeah. We have pictures. Go get some food, silly. Gives you all the food. Awesome. Okay, I found the next one. Let's go. A silent comfort. Wow, guys. Silent comfort. Oh my god. I'm seeing some trigger warnings, so I'm gonna skip over some stuff. I'm gonna skip over some stuff throughout this one. Like a real one. Good luck with that. Okay. Another long night, a new nightmare. This has been an awful theme for the Enderman. Every night in his new house, they would pass out in their bed just but to be woken up by some deep nightmare of their past. All Alto could think about was flames and how hot they felt from a distance, memories of their childhood, as he practically relived the scene throughout their dream. They remembered the tall men outside his childhood window screaming for them and Note's family to come out. The smell of smoke consuming his senses as he cradled himself in the corner, begging that their family would come and get him away from their fires spreading around a place they called home. I forgot that their place went on fire. Also curled up in his bed at the memories, tears falling down their face, the burning sensation reminding too much of the memory, making the boy come to a spiral. They had been crying a lot lately, to the point where there were now scrapes down their face and arms due to all the water and being an Enderman. Also decided it was hopeless to just sit there and whine. There were better things he could do with their time. Something that had become a routine as of the past few days was revisiting their sibling who he had now lived with when upset. Alto never really told the man what was ever on their mind, but they both equally always knew that nighttime was hard for both of them, and that the pain was better endured when not alone. The Enderman walked over to Q's room and knocked on the door anxiously, but there was no answer. Q, you up? The boy answered, now slightly worried. He then opened the door, hoping Q would be understanding of their worries, even if it may have been a bit privacy invading. I don't know if that's what they were going to do, I swear. What's happening? I think they're having lore. It's okay. So when they looked and Q was gone, all that was left was an empty bed and the good night message from Alto that he set up every night before bed. At first panic set in, but then Alto remembered the one night when Q had been very upset and escaped to Prince's room, a common place of comfort for the two while Princey was gone. It wouldn't hurt to check, right? If Q was hurting the way he had been the last time, it was worth going and checking. Also escaped the recently built house and across the island to his father's place. They slowly trudged down the basement stairs, not to scare Q if he was there. To the Enderman hybrid's thoughts exact, Q had been there sobbing like the time before, and looked to be holding himself in pain. Concern draped the boy's face as they walked over to their brother, worried. There were two questions on the Alta's mind. How had Q become not pink anymore? And why was he so in pain? So, for context, the character is a sheep and was dyed pink as a bit. You know, as one does. You remember when Q and Alto had first met, Q had mentioned scars from stuff before. Had Q... Oh, I'm not gonna read that. Whatever it was, Alto was dead set on helping his brother. Hey, Q, I'm here. What can I do to help? The boy asked in a soft tone, to not scare the sheep in any way. He just muttered, and I'm fine, back, which Alto was not taking. Can I see? Alto mumbled, pointing at the sheep's wounds. Q sighed, knowing Alto was not going to give up anytime soon, and sat up, offering the place. Alto winced slightly, looking at the clearly irritated wounds, with clumps of soap around them, because he was trying to wash out the pink dye. Alto frowned, but stayed silent, not wanting to scare Q any more than he clearly was. Let's also keep in mind that the character Alto is 13 helping this situation. Jesus Christ. Oh, thank you. Bro was a mature 13. Jesus. The Enderman got up and walked over to the cupboards in Princey's house. Thankfully, they found some things he could use. Princey was overprotective, so the man clearly kept his first aid stuff in the home. Along with Alto, was able to find a water bucket. They then walked back over to Q and grabbed their arm carefully. This is going to hurt, okay? But if you wait any longer, these could become infected if not already. The boy muttered, clearly experienced in these type of things for their age. Alto began carefully placing water on the boy's wounds to wash away the soap. He found himself humming a soft tune that their mother had sung to him as a kid, hoping to give Q something else to focus on than the pain. Alto was very soft with every moment they did, trying to keep the pain as low as possible for his brother. The melody Zeus had sung may be a familiar one to some. It was the first disc Alto had ever heard from a childhood friend that the Enderman hybrid had lost when he had to escape the village. Other side. Start sobbing. Anyways. It was the first song the hybrid had ever heard, and became a big source of comfort to the boy since then, as it was a reminder of the first ever person that made Alto feel like home. Still, Alto could not help himself from letting a small tear fall down his face. Add one, the memories, and two, from just generally being overwhelmed. They were quick to wipe it away, though, hoping Q didn't notice, and instead shoving the emotion away from a quick, non-genuine laugh. Once Q's hands were soap-free and clean, Z carefully wrapped the hands in bandages to keep them from getting irritated by the environment again. They're all clean. I hope you know next time you could always come to me for help. I will never judge you. Please make sure to change out these bandages every few days. I will be checking them as well, if that's okay. Do you want to head home or stay here? Alto gave his brother a soft smile, leaving his brother some options. When Q made it clear that the boy was comfortable at Princey's home for now, Alto stayed there talking with him and just being there for him until the sheep fell back to sleep. Alto then set up a small area on the floor next to the bed area, soon passing out himself with a small smile on his face, glad to know his brother is safe, at least for the night. Boom. Story over. Oh, did I miss something? I'm seeing bad things. Are we good? We good, gang? But thank you. I'm gonna say we're doing good. So promo. Ah. Thank you, thank you. Then there's a comment under it just going, we're getting this deep already? Yeah, maybe. And then also, skip it. So true. Okay, but let's see if we can find another story, guys. Oh, those two are being so silly, chat. You're getting double story. One, whatever this lore is. Well, joke lore, but lore. And my old writings. The old cringe writings, guys. Another post just saying I was getting on cozy. A lot of these writings are also based around stuff that happened in lore, like in the server. But so real. No, the first little fan art I had made. That's so silly. Gotta love that. Gotta love the silly fan art. I was apparently working on a project. Let's see. I went on cozy again. Said I was gonna write a POV to something. Oh, it's the zombie incident. Oh my god. Zombie lore, guys. This one is called Riot of Everlasting Daggers. So true. So true of me. It says, oh, thank you so much for the hydrate, and no worries. Thank you for letting me know. Keep in mind, though, anyone who's coming in, if I miss anything, I'll try to keep looking back and forth while I'm reading. I'm on a different tab. There we go, I've hydrated. So, the trigger warnings here say it's like gore and character death, okay. It says, one of Alto's favorite things was helping people, so when confetti, oh my god. I'm kind of in a call with this guy. Oh my god. Confetti mention? Well, except for lore confetti, but confetti. So when Confetti asked Alto if No wanted to go with him to help Confetti get resources for a shop, Alto was beyond willing to go. Ever since the beginning of meeting their lovely family, Z had always enjoyed either giving them all little gifts or helping them do things. Before they left, though, Alto could hear their brother come down from his room, stopping as he saw Confetti and Alto. Is something going on? He asked. This brother, I believe, is Cloud, I believe. Alto smiled and nodded excitedly. Would you like to come with me and Confetti to help them get some resources for a shop they want to make? The boy asked in response. Cloud eventually agreed. Yeah, it was Cloud again. And the three of them all headed off. They had to travel pretty far away, since most of the good resources there were taken away near the main areas. Alto didn't mind, though. Z loved the thrill of an adventure. Plus, they spent most of the time cracking jokes and talking with two people they cared about very much. Once they found an area with resources, Alto immediately went around collecting some of the flowers, while Confetti and Cloud were cutting down the trees around the area. I think they did that because Cloud and Confetti were more strong out of the two, since Alto was like the youngest. And so all three of them seemed to be practically zoned out getting to work, especially Alto, who was determined to get their uncle the best things he could find. Before anyone knew it, the sun had fully gone down, and it was getting dark. No one had fully noticed this, too lost into the grind, until Alto got hit by a zombie, scaring them into a scream, which did not help in their case at all, only attracting the other mobs in the area. Alto immediately grabbed out their sword, trying to fight off the mobs that practically surrounded the three of them, at this point backing both Cloud and Alto against a tree. Cloud was the first to get knocked down, as Alto ran in front of them, trying to ignore the pain of each gash at their skin. The boy had not even brung their armor, not processing how dangerous adventuring was. Alto looked over for 1 second to see confetti was grabbed. They were stuck between two people they cared a lot about. Panic strikes, and they tried to scream, but his voice practically left no sound coming out. In that moment, Z was grabbed by a zombie, while another gnashed a hit at the boy's shoulder, as others were attacking them at the back, leaving the boy practically useless. To the group's luck, the sun slowly rose, and the zombies burned by that time. Though both Alto and Cloud were on the ground, wounds scattered across the two, and once again, all Alto could do was look over and see their uncle's dead body. He was gone. In a video game. That moment felt all too familiar, reminding Alto of the time at the end portal, as their mom got taken away and Z could do nothing about it. Z couldn't even help their own sibling, let alone go and save his uncle. He felt useless, completely accepting it if their fate was death, closing his eyes. No, not confetti! Guys, this is so sad. Welcome back. Nothing went down. No. Nothing at all. No, there wouldn't be. I'm good. I think confetti's AFK. But they might want some. Who knows? And then this is my headcanon, which I eventually made a canon, is that I like to think after the zombie incident, Alto barely talks unless he must. And hardly goes out unless family is around. Most of the time he will talk in signs or mumble under their breath. Alto no speak? Oh no. No Alto. Fish. Then just a bunch of regular posts. And then we have our next story, because I was in my writing arc. Let's go. And it's called A Silent Cry of Worry. And this is about Alto had been hiding in their uncle's base, peeking around corners of the room quietly. Oh my god.
Then we could take our gummies.
It's this guy. This guy's here now. Whoa. Oh, and a bunny. That's not more. Wow, guys. Augie was just working on their base, and Alto was bored and lonely. Alto trusted being around Augie. He just had this welcoming presence, especially since before, when they were in Princey's basement, Augie had practically become the boy to cling to. The boy had not accepted the offer, though. The offer seemed too vulnerable. Instead, Z handed their uncle a flower with a small smile, staying at a distance. The zombie incident had really fucked with the boy. They barely hung around anyone, only talking now through signs, feeling completely useless. Note had based their whole existence over protecting people. They now failed this, and were hurting emotionally and physically over it. I like how Ollie's just casually learning. This is the Enderman you've been interacting with. This guy's a little traumatized, guys. Maybe. Hurting emotionally and physically over it, though confetti had healed most of the wounds, there were still scars scattered around the kid's body, especially the gash at his shoulder. Alto had not talked to anyone about the incident and their feelings on it. The only person they slightly knew how much Alto was hurting was their sibling. I'm not going to say because they're canceled, but basically one of them, who Alto had run to a few days ago in need of comfort. Their sibling had been Alto's biggest source of comfort lately, practically clinging to their sibling. Their sibling was tough. He couldn't fail them too, right? Z was sticking with this thought process, or the boy would bring themselves to complete isolation. Now that would drive the kid crazy. Alto watched Note's uncle build. They noticed something weird on their uncle's hand. It was a weird color and looked globby. The boy had never seen something like it before. Alto snuck up behind the uncle to try and get a close look, poking the part of Augie's arm in worry. Ah, what the fuck? The hybrid screamed, spinning around and looking at Alto in panic and confusion. Alto flinched back in panic as well, eyes wide, as they stared at their uncle. Oh, sorry, buddy, you scared me. Did you need something? Augie apologized before patting the boy's head with a welcoming smile. The Enderman nodded before grabbing a sign and placing it, scribbling on it. Welcome back, fatty! What's on your arm, Uncle Augie? Before standing back so his uncle can read it. Oh, nothing. Nothing to worry about, bud. Just a mess from building. You know, I have been working hard on the base. Panic had sped through the older voice, as it was very clear the other was lying. Alto rose an eyebrow, but decided not to push it, deciding they would talk to someone about it instead, since Augie clearly was not going to give answers. Instead, Alto offered their help, helping Augie build some of the base, hoping to help whatever was going on with their uncle. Alto's mind clearly running in worry. A silent cry of worry. That makes sense with the title. Oh my god. We did it. I don't know what we did. I was just being real. I'm gonna go grab food while I wait. Take your time, take your time. Let's see. Just me talking about lore. Lore talk. Oh my god, are they? Where? On the arm? Oh. A bit on the face. This is so tragic. It's like a light color difference. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I think I see it then. This is so sad. Why do this to the silly uncle? How could you do this? How could you do this? No, don't smile at me. Don't do it. I'll have to fight you. Another drawing I did. The drawing was kind of dot, but it's okay. Alright, we got another lore. Oh my god, guys. And it's just called Farewell, Papa. Oh no. Not thanks. Creak, creak. So true. The creaking noise of the swing of Princey's yard could be heard in the background of a deep conversation. The silent, blank-faced Enderian was watching his two uncles and father have an important conversation, as Confetti explained to their father about what happened in the zombie incident. They tried to ignore the sound of sobbing, zoning out on their father's look on his face. Princey certainly looked worried, maybe even a bit upset, but Alta knew it wasn't at anyone specifically, just the situation itself. The boy brought his feet up to their chest on the swing, hugging them as he zoned out watching their father. Z could see that Princey kept looking back at him to make sure Note was okay. Alta had not said a single word since the incident. Nobody knows what happened on his side. Z plans to keep it that way. They failed everyone in numerous ways, and it hurt so much that all Alta could feel anymore is constant panic, and now both of their fathers and mother would be leaving them for a week more. Alone again with his siblings, trying to keep all of them from falling apart, while secretly all of his insides were being torn into tiny pieces. What snapped Alto out of their thoughts was the feeling of a light kiss on their head. "Hey, bud, time for bed, don't you think?" Princey whispered, trying not to startle the boy. When Alto didn't move, he couldn't bring himself to move. His body still in pain and fragile, Princey picked them up, bringing Note into the house, as the boy just leaned into their father, holding on like his life depended on it, bathing in the touch, knowing soon he wouldn't have it for a while. "I love you, Papa," Aziz thought, but couldn't form into words a small tear falling down his cheek. The entire night, him and Note's siblings stayed with their father, all curled up next to him in bed as the man sang them to sleep. Fun fact, chatters, we actually did this in a call where there was sibling, yep, they were singing, and I genuinely fell asleep in the call. Like a real one. Also, Confetti, I don't know if you know, but you're unmuted. I can hear Markiplier, question mark? I just want to let you know. We have... Wait, where did I leave off? Oh, yeah. Okay. Aldo found himself half asleep for hours, mind running, but eventually passed out, curled next to their parental figure. When morning came to arise, Alto was the last one awake. The boys slowly opened their eyes to see they were still in his father's bed, only him left compared to yesterday, where everyone had been lying in it. It hurt knowing Alto never really officially got to say goodbye to his father, but there was nothing they could really do about it. There was nothing the entire family could do about it, but go about their days. And that was it. Whoa, guys. Shocking. Then I was talking about bots. And I did a poll for what writing I wanted to do because I had multiple writing ideas. And then I started talking about secrets. Whoa. And we have the next writing. Whoa, guys. The last one is called Dandelion. Or, not last one. The next one. The next one's called Dandelions. Whoa, guys. And then it says, so for context, chat, Alto has a dandelion that's from like his childhood, and he loses it. Is basically the context for this. Where is it? Where is it? Where the fuck did I put it? Panic struck through the Endermen as they searched their chests frantically in each room of the house, breath catching in panic. Clearly, whatever it was he was looking for, it certainly was important. to bring Alto into such panic this late at night. What time was it again? Almost 4 in the morning. Everyone was basically asleep already. And then it's like past lore, so it's like this is description of the past. Come on, brother, show me, show me, show me, the young Endirian cried, in excitement, pulling on their brother's sleeve. He had promised the boy a present the next time they saw each other after Alto had done a good job in their training session. The day before and ever since then, it's all the boy would talk about. No's brother was clearly someone Alto looked up to and enjoyed. By the way, this is the random background sibling that doesn't have a name. Alto looked up to and enjoyed every moment spent with him. Okay, calm down, kid, the brother said, before ruffling the kid's hair. I need you to close your eyes until I say you can open them. Can you do that? The Endirian nodded in excitement, immediately closing their eyes shut tight. They soon could feel a slight pull at their hair. What are you doing, brother? The boy was clearly confused about what was happening. Their brother just chuckled. You'll find out soon. Once the tug was pulled back and the brother hummed, You can open your eyes now, Alto. As he opened their eyes, excitement flowing through the boy's body. When they opened his eyes, Note saw a mirror in front of his face, making him be able to see themselves. Everything looked the same as usual, except a small yellow flower that was placed into Alto's hair, explaining the tugging feeling. Alto's eyes went wide in surprise and adoration. It's so pretty. What is it? The boy wanted to know everything about the beautiful thing in their hair. This had changed so much in Alto's life from there on. Dandelions were their favorite thing in the whole world, which is also why they wanted to name the village Dandelion Village. Not only being the first flower they had ever seen since he lived in the end, but it gives the remembrance of one of Alto's favorite people in the world, his brother. But also, for context for Ollie, is why they give dandelions to everybody, which is so silly. And just for anyone, really, let's be honest. Dandelions. And then we have present, which says, soon to be that flower is the only thing the boy had left of their brother once they had to leave them. It was always found in Alto's hair. The one time... Holy shit! Holy shit, guys! I came to break in. Let's go. I need to see them. Chat, this is more important. How do I get out of here? Where? Oh my god. It's the silly guys. Oh my god. Guys, I love how he just dropped everything and just ran over. So normal of me. Guys, we're about to have a cloud. Oh my god.
You're not getting nothing out of this whatsoever, but ruining your kids for 21 days.
Hi, 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 hi. Feel free to talk if you'd like. Can I ask what name? Okay, fair enough. Very valid, same. It's okay. Oh. Has it not been loaded for anyone this whole time? Give me a second, chatters. I'll log back. No, you could have let me know. It's okay. Oh my god. You didn't miss it fully. I'm reading old lore bets. I'm reading every single one. What the fuck? What do you mean it doesn't work anymore?
Austin!
Guys, gang. Fuck, I accidentally logged into that. I meant to log into the place. Guys, it's not being nice. There we go. Maybe this time? Yes! Okay, perfect. Ow, I can't see. Hi. Oh my god, I also have lore plans that I gotta discuss with you, by the way. Because I'm making a build for us. Hee. Well, actually, we can make it together. My god. How long? What have you seen? I need to know. Okay. Couple of readings in August lore. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't read any of the August lore. I was too busy reading. But we're gonna pretend I did. Shh. I was in streamer mode. Come down to the hole. I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of where the build's gonna be, so the hole's probably gonna have to leave eventually, but shh. Don't tell the others this, guys. Shh. I can't get back down. Oh my god, yo! Not quite Leah, hello. Today. Slash delay doesn't usually work for me, but we're gonna hope, baby. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, slash crawl. No, it does not work. Awesome. Guys, it's okay. Was so tempted to bring in Void Cloud, but I have to be a firm Cloud anti right now. Let's go. Also, to anyone new coming in, we're just reading old lore stories. Okay. Oh wait, you know what? You know what's ironic? I'm reading the one that we worked on together, which is kind of ironic. Okay. Soon to be, that flower was the only thing the boy had left of their brother once they had to leave them. It was always found in Elsa's hair, but the one time they decided to take it off, they had lost it. Where had it gone? After hours of searching, the boy soon gave up, curling up in a corner of his room, small blistering tears pouring down their face. They missed him so much. It hurt way worse than any tears could. I love Q's response to this because it's just, alright, I'm ripping the house apart to find the flower. Be there soon. Because, fun fact, I actually did hide the dandelion throughout the world. And this guy found it. Perhaps. But we weren't actually able to write that lore. What in the world is going on? Reading old lore. From my character Alto. And then I'm gonna be doing a lore build potentially. It's getting late though, so I might not until another time. I am Steve. Oh my god, hi Steve. I am Steve. Not chicken jockey. Not this again. I can't physically deal with this again.
Austin!
Guys, I can't. I love how they joined and then left just to say chicken jockey.
Did you eat anything? Come on, let's go. Let's go get a shower. Come on, buddy.
Also, that was so real of them. What? Okay, let's see. Alright, now we got one called... Wait, there's one called 30 Hand... Oh, it's a document. Okay. This is when I started doing my lore and documents. I started getting more official, guys. I started having a brand. Chicken jockey. Oh, I can't say that ever again. So this one's called Dirty Hands. Ah! It took out my lifeline at the server. I got taken out. Also, Claude, do you want me to message you what I think? What I think the think of you is? If you get what I mean. Maybe you don't get what you mean. Okay. As a child, I yearned for the mines. Chicken jockey. I haven't watched any of the trailers, which is funny. Which makes it even more funny. Sonny, please. Okay. I messaged you, by the way. Based on your messages. Not this again. Story time. Story time. Okay, anyways, on to Dirty Hands, guys. Why are you guys fighting? Of course you want to fight. Also, alrighty. Yeah, feel free to watch. We're just reading some of my old lore for my character named Alto. I'm about to read one called Dirty Hands. Keep in mind for anyone coming in, some of the lore can be a little bit triggering, so just make sure you take care of yourself. It's a little bit angsty. A lot of it's just like characters getting hurt, death, etc. Okay, anyways. The high-pitched scream of a woman could be heard echoing through the town. It was very late at night, most people sleeping, including Alto and his mother. Okay, so this is past lore. They had just fallen asleep after a bedtime story when they heard a loud knock on the door of their home. Alto watched as his mother had gotten up to get the door, and suddenly the boy heard the yelling. Concerned, they got up out of bed, grabbing one of their plushies, and going into the living room where the front doors while wiping his tired eyes. Who's there, Mama? They paused as they saw a group of people storming into the house with weapons in hands. We found you both, finally, one of them said. Alto immediately understood what was going on. They found out, and now they were after them, just like his father. Alto went in front of their mother, grabbing the sword his brother had made specifically for times like this. Still, Z had never thought he would actually ever have to use it. Stay back. If any of you take one more step, I'm not afraid to use this, the kid threatened, sounding puny with their high-pitched voice. He was only a child, after all. Oh, so this child wants to fight me. Get out of our way. Don't waste my time, kid, one of the men said, but before they could get any closer to Alto's mom's instincts kicked in, and Alto was running at them with the sword. The boy managed to get 4 out of the 6 men down due to all the training he had done, slamming a sword into each of them before he could even think. Blood was everywhere, especially all over them. Little did Z know one of the men he had taken out the night was one of the leader's family members. This is when the leader took a step forward, stabbing their axe into Alto's shoulder, knocking the boy down to the ground before putting the axe to his neck area. You're going to wish you never did that, kid, the man said as Alto struggled, trying to get out of the way without getting himself taken out. There was no hope. Before the man could do the final blow on Alto, the leader's right-hand man spoke. Come on, sir, there's no use to continuing this. We need to get our men back before anyone else comes at us for blood. The leader glared at Alto but hummed, moving the axe away but keeping Alto down. You're lucky, but I promise you this. I will hunt down and kill everything you can ever hope to love someday. You will regret this, kid, the man said before walking away, helping their wounded and off men out of the house while Alto's mom ran over to Alto, holding them while sobbing. All Alto could do was stare at their bloody hands. What had he done? Little did he know this day would come to haunt them soon. Boom. Lore. Wow, guys. Such lore. Such lore, such realness. Let's see what the next one is. Alright. So the next one we have is called A Familiar Face. Let's see. Okay, so this one is basically a continuation of the last one, why it haunts him. So, the bloody walls of a night Alto would tell nobody about. a night that haunts the boy oh so badly, a night he happened to be alone in his house. Hugh had been off to Princey's house, a place his brother commonly went into the night. And Cloud was usually not home most of the time. I do not want to hear your... Oh my god. That was ironic. That was quite ironic. No, that's so real. You doing okay? Oh wait, I realized they can't hear me. I just want to make sure they were... Okay, awesome. I do think, just because of how late it is getting, and also just because of other stuff, I might actually continue this tomorrow. Oh, wait, there's a trick, guys. We'll go look at the trick first. And then I will do my bidding, and also raid. Let's see. Oh my god, freedom! Freedom! No more using all my food. It is now toggleable. Oh my god, that's so cool. Wait. I love that. Ollie for the W, honestly. I think Ollie, like, will turn it on for lore, and then not lore, turn it off. That's awesome. Alright, chatters, I think I'm going to do a part 2 of this, either tomorrow or another time, just because it is getting late. But I had a lot of fun, and it was nice sharing some of my lore to you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to get to the build today. I don't know why I thought I was gonna multitask, even though I'm terrible at multitasking. But I will get to the build soon. If not, I might do it off stream, to be fair. But yeah. Thank you guys for joining on in with me. I'm going to find someone to raid out real quick. I think someone on my follow list will probably be streaming kind of soon. But if not, then I will ask. Okay, yes. Jumbled is. And also note is. Let me see if there's says 18 plus, because I know there's sometimes those though. So let me check. My stuff is loading in real quick, chatters. Oh, it's just not going to tell me their title. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. I don't think it says... Cloud. Could you double check and see if it says 18 plus? Because it's not showing me the full title. If not, though, I'm going to raid out to them. Just in case some of my viewers might be younger and then it fucks up the raid. So, I don't want to mess with their stream. Okay. It is in fact 18 plus. Never mind. We're gonna be rating out to Jumbled. JJ. Jumbled. Alright, chatters, I am going to be rating to Jumbled. Feel free to go send them some love. Thank you guys for the amazing stream. Sorry it wasn't as interactive, but it is hard for me to read and interact with chat too much. Hope you guys have an amazing day/night. Bye! Waiting for it to say it.